So why did I have my surgery? Well, I decided to have my surgery because of two reasons. The first being my son. I gave birth to a 10-pound child who turned my belly button into a pressed flower. But that alone wasn't enough to get this surgery. No. The second reason is why I got the surgery. When I was 42, I had an emergency C-section. No, I didn't. What the fuck am I saying? I had an emergency hysterectomy. And it was a process that took like a year because the doctor in charge just kept fucking it up. So I had 3 surgeries in between those surgeries to drain my remaining ovary because they took everything. They took my ovary, they took my uterus, my ovary, and my cervix, but they left my left ovary. Okay, and that kept swelling, which led me to have a bunch of surgeries to drain it. And then finally it got so big that it was like the size of a watermelon, and a large watermelon in my stomach, and it was like poking through. It was ridiculous. So after the surgery, the last one that I had to remove that cyst, they finally were gonna take the entire ovary, but it was such a mess that they ended up taking like a foot of my intestine too. It was like a horrible, it was like an 8.5-hour surgery. It was insane. So that surgery, it completely destroyed my stomach. And I'm a person who takes pride in their body. I try to eat right. I work out, and I just wasn't ready to see the matronly way that my body was changing because I was starting to accumulate fat just on my midsection instead of distributing it evenly as it was before. So, I'm sorry, I'm like in pain. I'm sorry, I'm still like a little shaky. So, I'm just trying to get my bearings. So I decided that I didn't like that donut that I was accumulating around my waist. And then, I didn't have a butt. I have my mom's butt. And so it was really flat, you know, and it was just small. And the pictures, it looks bigger than it actually is. It's not like that. And it's probably because I'm in heels and kind of like trying to pump it out, you know, but it was non-existent. So anyways, I was like, dude, I'm just gonna like get the fat. And oh, it was my hips. That's why I went in. It was my hips. I didn't have any hips. Like I had boy hips, and I just, you know, for a lot of women, their power of sexuality, it comes from their breast, but it's not me. And I like, dude, my breast came in really early, and I was like a full C, almost a D by the time I was like 13, you know? Dude, when I was 6, I had a full bush of hair. If you would have entered me in the Hustler Beaver Hunt, I would have won. So it was that surgery that made me realize I'm gonna have to get, you know, light bone and a Brazilian butt lift. Well, not the Brazilian butt lift, but I wanted hips. So yeah, the butt really wasn't as big as a deal for me as the hips were, you know? But I'm glad I did it. Like, it really has changed how I feel about myself. It's like, I just have, after it was done, and I first saw myself, it just felt right, and it felt natural, you know? And, okay, my butt was big, and I was like, whoa, dude, you know? But I was like, okay, that's swelling, and it will go down. Yeah, so, okay, let me go back, because I'm gonna get lost. So, that's why I had my surgery, because I hated how I looked and what was happening. And I just wanted to get that fat. So that's why I got 360 lipo, and they go all the way around from like under your breast, all the sides, and like down, you'll see. And then, so that's why I did that. And dude, okay. So why did I go to Seduction Cosmetics? Well, I could have went anywhere. I could have went to a Beverly Hills. I could have went to great doctors in Texas, you know, there's a lot of great doctors out there. I didn't go to Mexico because that would be bad. And where I went to was close enough. Oh my God. Hey, what's up?
Hello, how are you?
So I could have went anywhere, but I went to Seduction Cosmetics because Dr. Sampson works there, and I wanted Dr. Sampson. I saw that there was an intelligence to his work. There's an intelligence to his work that I didn't see in any of the other doctors, not in the Miami doctors or the Texan doctors, not even the Beverly Hills doctors. I just felt like he knew what was up, and he worked with the person's body. You know, he might have put his signature, you know, peach on there, but he adjusted it to people's frames. And also he works with athletic bodies, and my body's very athletic. And so like Kim Kardashian or Khloe Kardashian, really nice ass actually, but like, you know, or Nicki Minaj, what they can do, I can't do. That wouldn't be good for me. And so I wanted somebody who understood that. That's why I chose Dr. Sampson. Now, would I have chosen Seduction Cosmetics? No. And I do not recommend Seduction Cosmetics. I recommend Dr. Sampson, but I don't recommend Seduction Cosmetics. That place sucked. And it was the most difficult process of my life. I was originally supposed to go March 13th to do this, but then the coronavirus hit, right? Like that week, you know? So this was as soon as I could get it. I had they're called like a consultant, right? You get a consultant who's supposed to see you through this process. And mine was Eva. And Eva didn't know who I was. Eva knew my money, but Eva didn't know who I was. So I would send her stuff and nothing. And so basically, you know, I paid and, you know, I got my date. I would get letters, monthly letters. Okay, you're 2 months away, you're 1 month away, you know, and in those letters, it would let you know what you needed to do, such as I had to get labs. Now, I didn't include the cost of labs in the cost summary, just because that's a separate cost and I'm Army, so my labs were free. Now, as was my medicine. So, yeah, so Eva had no idea who I was. So I mailed in all my stuff, you know, and I just showed up on the date that I was supposed to be there, not knowing if I was even gonna have surgery. I'm just waiting for Jeff to pick me up. I hear him out there. I'm not getting up because I'm nervous. Yeah, so basically I've woken up, I've taken a shower.
Maybe on the meds. Maybe on the.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel on the meds.
I don't want to really, I try not to take that many, you know what I mean? You know? So, yeah. So anyways, I get there and, lo and behold, they have me in the system and they tell me to come at 9. So I get there and I'm supposed to be naked and wearing a robe. So I'm completely nude under my robe, and it's this heavy, like, Chanel robe, right? And it's Miami heat and it's sweltering. They're like in a heat wave. So there's other people in there too, and some are just, and it looks like some fucking, it just looks like some shithole in Mexico is what it looks like. You know what I mean? Just old, you know, and nobody really speaks English, and if you don't speak Spanish, they hate you. So, you know, and all these people are just laying around. It was just really foul, you know? And they were like laying on their benches, like on their stomachs and shit, you know? So anyways, I'm just like, fuck. But I knew, I knew when I went with him that it was gonna be fucking janky. I just didn't know how fucking janky. But I also went by myself. I didn't want my husband to go because I wanted him to see the transformation. I didn't want him to see the process Do you know what I mean? Even though like he's seen, you know, he's gonna see what you have seen. Actually, I don't even know if my husband's seen this, but you know, he's going to see what you see, but it's not right. In a couple more weeks, it's gonna be different. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm in this room and I'm just like, fuck. Well, they have nothing of me. They don't have my medical stuff, and I forgot to bring my paperwork. So they don't have any of my medical stuff. They have, the only thing they have is that I paid and that today's my date. So anyways, my husband and I were like in contact, and he was, you know, emailing me my records and stuff like that. And luckily we got everything. It was resolved. But I was really scared. I was getting really scared because I was thinking about the surgery and I was starting to shake, you know? So anyways, she gave me 2 huge packets to fill out. And I didn't want to fill them out to begin with, you know? But I was like, all right, I'm going to fill these out once, you know what I mean? And that's it. And then she gives me another packet, like a 3rd packet. I was like, no. I'm like, I'm not filling this shit out. You fill it out. You know what I mean? And so then I see Dr. Sampson walk by, right? And I was like, hey, Dr. Sampson, you know? And so I made him shake my hand. He didn't want to shake my hand, you know? But I made him because, you know, he's going to operate on me and this is my life. I wanted to make sure, you know, he knew who I was because, you know, I'm trying to like make my life important, make it count, right? So anyway, she fills out my paperwork and, you know, I'm conversing with Dr. Sampson and then he leaves. So then they're like, all right, you have to come back for your surgery. And I was like, what do you mean come back? I already did everything, you know? I don't want to come back. I want my surgery now, you know? And they're like, no, you can't do it right now. So they already had a couple girls ahead of me prepped and in the room. So I was just like, all right on. So like, okay, you have 2 choices. You can either wait here or you can fuck off. So I went back to the recovery house. And I waited and I wasn't sure, like I didn't trust. I was just like, I didn't trust if they were going to call me, you know, because it was like that. It was just, it was so like, I didn't even know the word for it, but it was just, it was ridiculous, you know? So I went in surgery at 9:30 at night. That's what time they called me, at 9:30 at night. Now, my experience was wonderful though. Like for all the shit that I went through, my experience was phenomenal. And I am so forever grateful for Dr. Sampson for creating that environment. Thank you. We went into the room and I met him formally. And so he's like, why are you choosing, you know, me as your surgeon? And I said, well, because I see that your work is very informed and I feel that you will understand my body and dignify it with your hands. Something like so that. He really liked me and he liked the fact that I had dreadlocks and, you know, because he's Jamaican and, you know, we just connected. It's funny because he didn't even give me a chance to show me my pictures of what I wanted. And I was so nervous. He gave me like, I was like buck naked, right? And he gave me like 2 gowns and I kept tearing the fucking gowns because I was so nervous. He's like, you need to give her something, but they never did. Anyways, yeah, so he wrote down on the paper on the thing what to expect. And you know, he's just like, you are going to look worse before you look better. And that's going to be about like, I think 2 or 3 weeks, he said. 6 weeks, I'll start to see results. And but you have to sleep on your stomach that long. Like you're supposed to sleep on your stomach for like 6 months. Yeah, you support yourself with pillows on your stomach. That helps, you know. But my legs right now, oh God, I'm so swollen. I have lupus. So part of having lupus is that you swell. And yeah, my swelling is really bad. Like I have it under control. A couple of times I didn't. On the plane, like I needed oxygen, doctors, it was really bad because it swelled so bad I couldn't breathe. He wrote down what to expect, and one of them was that your body isn't going to look right for a while. And then just what to take and what I'm supposed to do. And then we went into the operating room and he put a robe over my shoulders, you know, and I felt like a queen walking into my theater, you know, and it was so rad because they were playing Bob Marley. They were playing Jamaican music. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. And you know what? I wasn't that mad that the surgery was at night because I felt like a criminal. like, you know, when they're gonna go and they're gonna get plastic surgery to change their face, and they do it in the dead of night, you know what I mean? In some seedy place. That's what it was. It was seedy. It was very seedy. So I was in this seedy room, operating room, but I was with a very talented surgeon, you know? I just felt so special and important, you know? And then the music, it just really calmed me down, you know? So I just remember listening to Bob Marley, and that's it. I got out of my surgery at 11:30 at night, and my driver took me home. At 9, they got me up. So 11, 12, 9, 10, I had like 11 hours sleep. And they took me down to get my follow-up, and I had no idea what was going on, because I was fucking out of it. Dr. Sampson wanted me to hold your boobs like this. I was like, no, I hold like this. Looks like I have more.
Thank you. Yeah, because when you finish, I wrap you in the gasa and you put on top this. Nothing there. Okay. Put it back. Good.
Like down near where my pussy is, it's really swollen. Like it's purple, because it's just filled with all the blood that settled.
Okay, mama. And listen, I can buy.
I just remember they went to go give me a massage, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing, you know? Bitch, you're not touching me, right? It's like freaking out, you know? And it was just too soon, you know? So anyways, I'm at this thing, and I have, and this isn't the fault of Seduction. This is the fault of my janky ass recovery home that I went to. But I was trying to go on the cheap. I tried to do everything as cheap as I could, because I was paying for it. You know, I didn't want to rely on my husband, you know what I mean? And I didn't want it to take from my family. So I had to come up with the cash, you know? So I did it as cheap as I could to get it done as fast as I could. So, yeah, my guy, he couldn't get back to me for like 2 hours. So I had surgery, right? And I'm dying, and I'm not on pain medicine, you know? And they don't have anywhere for you to lay. So I was one of those people laying on that janky ass bench. It was so bad there that one of the girls, like, so I'm out in the hallway, and this girl's in the room. And this other girl, she's in the room and she's too hot and they're not getting to her. And so she ends up vomiting all over the floor, like all over the floor. And all I could do while I was laying there is hope that it didn't get on me, you know what I mean? And then she and her mom left and I'm like stuck there, and they know about it, but they leave it there for like 25 minutes. They left that there for like 25 minutes. Do you know what I mean? And I was just like, holy shit, you know? Yeah, it was bad. Anyways, so for the surgery, I suggest Dr. Sampson, but I do not suggest you go to Seduction Cosmetics. I think it's dangerous, you know. The pro would be Dr. Sampson. He delivered exactly the results that I wanted, and he knew how to work with my body type, which is athletic, you know, but the con was the place. What have I noticed? So the first night sucked. The first day definitely sucked. I think if you go back to your home, if you're able to go home, you'll have a better experience. Now, right now, I'm sleeping, but I'm not sleeping great. I'll get solid sleep and deep sleep, but I'm still not feeling like I'm getting sleep. My butt didn't hurt. It was just, it felt tight, you know? The pain isn't the way I thought it was going to be. It just hurt. Do you know what I mean? Like somebody fucking boot stomped my ass or something like that, you know? But, or like I was in a car accident. So, but, it wasn't anything you can't handle, but you do need, you know, you will need to take a couple Percocets. Now, I would just take half a Percocet, you know, so I'd just take half, and then I would do like a Advil 800. So I'd take the Advil 800, and then I'd wait a half an hour, and then I would take like the Percocet. But I'd only take like one Percocet a day, just because I wanted to shit. So, and let me see. Okay, what I noticed is that for me, like I said, I had a problem with the swelling, and like I'm really, really swollen. You know, you can see it everywhere. Your arms right there, that's gonna hurt bad. Oh my God, that hurts so bad. Like when because you're constantly pushing yourself up, and if you do not have any upper body strength or you don't work out, it's gonna be worse, you know? So bring some icy hot, so you can rub that in those areas. And also your knees. Oh my God, my knees hurt so bad and they swelled so bad. Luckily, I had Bactine, okay? It has 2% lidocaine in it. And so it would numb my knees, and that would help, because sometimes it was to the point where you couldn't even like take it, you know? And really you can't do shit, you know? Today, I'm a little bit more mobile and flexible, you know? But I really haven't eaten anything, you know? I feel like awake and stuff, and I want to do stuff, but when I try to do projects, I'm tired, you know. But today's kind of the first day where I kind of see a big kind of like a leap from the days prior. You know, I think the most uncomfortable thing is the swelling. It's all the way around. It's like, it feels like I'm wearing a girdle, but I'm not, you know. So it feels like it's being tightened. And you know what? I think he hooked me up. I do. I think Dr. Sampson hooked me up. I am so grateful to him, because I don't know, the way my stomach looks, I don't know. I think he tightened things inside. I don't know how, because I don't see any scarring. You know, there is a stitch in my belly button, you know, but I figured that's where one of the cannulas went. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. But, you know, so if this is, I know that this is something that a lot of you girls have been emailing me about, you know, and if this is something that you're interested in, I definitely say yes, go for it. One of the things that I advocate for is women's empowerment. And before you do anything, any kind of surgeries or anything like that, you need to know who you are, and you need to know how to use your body you need to know how to seduce without even when you look like shit. Do you know what I'm saying? You need to know how to harness that part of your femininity, and own it before you go changing yourself. There are very few times, like with a nose or things like that, or corrective surgery, you know, that you should get that, and you know, before you're at that place. you know. But if you're doing it because for a guy, or because, you know, just some reason other than you want it for yourself to look good, you know what I mean? It's for yourself. That's not right. Don't do surgery for anybody else. They're not worth it, especially men. And I will get into more subjects about that further as we go along the line. So thank you for watching, and you know, stay tuned.